Should you do pickup in 2024? Have you also noticed that a couple of years ago, women used to react much better when you approach them on the street than they do today? If you know this feeling of driving home from your job in your SUV, which might be nice, but there's no one at home waiting for you who could have cooked for you, and you have to get food delivered just for yourself again, but in reality you want someone to talk about your day or maybe even go on vacation with them, but there's no one there to share your experience with, even though you have the opportunities to do all this, then this video is for you. In the last couple of years, I've met over 50 pickup artists and I came to two realizations. Either they won, they creep the woman out, or second, they don't approach at all and just discuss theory with some other guys and just stand around and do nothing. So if you've also noticed that women react very differently when you approach them on the street or in real life than they used to, it's because the game has changed. Women get messages on Instagram, they have a lot of guys who text them on Tinder, on Bumble, on Hinge. So the game has changed. And so should you to become successful in dating women nowadays, because women from 20 to 30 years old, they want to get approached differently than they used to, because a pickup artist who just approaches women in real life will never be as successful as a mediocre looking guy who's just inside the algorithm of the online dating apps and has a low time invest in it, approaches once in a while a girl on the street. So the guy who just does online dating but is inside the algorithm is much more successful than the guy who plans out 10 hours to approach women in real life. So if you want to approach the topic dating correctly, this is an advice you will hear from no other guy, but it is approach women in real life correctly, authentic and up to date, and use online dating inside the algorithm correctly. Imagine you had the choice. One, you get a ton of extra dates with online dating with a low time investment because you belong to the 10% of guys who are successful inside the app. Or second, you don't use online dating at all and you just have to be dependent to have new dates when you go out. The common limiting belief I hear is, man, you need to be 2 meters tall and you need to be the hottest guy alive, but it's not true. Trust me, I've seen so many guys succeed with having an algorithm profile and approaching women on the street once in a while. Because nowadays the game has changed. It's more weird for a woman to get approached on the street because they are so conditioned and used to not be approached on the street, but to use online dating and Instagram to meet new guys. So it's very weird if you don't approach them correctly on the street and you don't use online dating. Imagine approaching them on the street and you don't do it correctly and you don't use online dating. So the only way you meet women is through the old videos you saw on the internet where it was 10 years ago where there was no online dating, and you keep all the women who are between the spectrum of 20 years old and 30 years old out because they are not used to get approached with this pickup artist style. So you want to do it either correctly and or use online dating efficiently inside the algorithm. So you can either hate the game or adapt, because the most adaptable is the one who survives at the end and is the most successful one. The devil's in the detail, which means it's very individual for every single one of us. So if you also want to implement ideas like these, approaching women authentically and up to date, or having online dating and being inside the algorithm with a low time investment in order to finally get more dates and meet more attractive women who are waiting for you, then book a free call and talk to me. All you have to do is click the first link in the description and book a free initial call with me. And then we talk to each other personally soon. Until then, I'm Lars. Ciao.